Walls are closing on my mind. The clock is ticking away. Years of you wine. Try to hold on, baby. I'm a broken battlefield. Nothing left in you, baby. I can't take no more. I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take anymore. I can't take it. I can't take anymore.
It's not illusion, it's just emotion. There's no confusion, just feel the motion of the storm. We can only play the part in a weekend romance. You got to take a chance. It's not illusion, it's just emotion. There's no confusion, just feel the motion of my love. I know what you're thinking of, too much to see. The time's like a day. It's just the two of us, and the light running wild. I need to stay in there, and we can journey and take you It's not illusion, it's just emotion. There's no confusion, just feel the motion. It's not illusion, just it's emotion. It's not illusion, it's just emotion. She needs emotion running through her veins. She needs emotion running through her feet. The time is right, she takes him. You never knew she'd shake him. The time is right, she takes him. You never knew she'd shake him.
Come round to my place. I change every lock and every key.
Well, I'm gonna make myself a cup of Good Morning America. Y'all want some? It's the best damn coffee you're gonna get anywhere, buddy.
And I slipped and fell outside, and then what happened is I came in here, and then it was on the internet.
Yes.
Hi.
We're back.
No, we're not. What?
Where are we?
Welcome to
Oh.
Coffee with Curmudgeons on Monday, November 6th, 2017. It's like nothing ever happened.
That's right.
I'm here with Freddy Krueger.
Hi.
We already did that. No,
Freddy,
it's Jason
hello.
and I. Okay.
Hi.
And Rand Paul and...
Oh, look. The internet went down. Oh.
Okay, so we are
Yes.
live on video live on YouTube right now
That's right.
because we can do that.
That's right.
And
Facebook seems to be a
we're
little
also
hinky.
live on our live. We have a mobile live stream.
Audio, yeah.
You can click on the link. It's actually is.gd/NZZBXX. And if you click on that on your mobile, you can just listen to us live in the car or whatever.
Sure.
That's fine. Here's what happened.
Yeah.
There is an internet outage going on somewhere. I know this because I was sitting here looking at this. We are live on YouTube. Our Google is fine. Google's great. And that's why, interestingly enough, we're here on YouTube, Google, saying hi. Everything else, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope is down, which tells us there's a problem out there in the internet somewhere. And and it could be between our ISP here, and this is not your little $29 ISP.
Right.
So we're good here. We've got all the gear and everything.
We're professionals, folks.
Yeah. So something's going on out there now.
Yeah.
What I haven't researched, but I did take a look at a couple pages, and I did see people reporting outages.
Yeah.
So between a couple different services that we're using, okay, I'm going to just wildly speculate.
Okay.
It's November 6th.
Yes.
What is this an anniversary of?
Well, it's the first election was last year today.
Yeah, last year today was the election, the American presidential election, and other
Makes
elections.
sense. Could be some hijinks going on.
I wouldn't put it past people out there in the world and on the internet to be doing something hinky today.
Right.
And we do not broadcast live on YouTube, but we post our shows on YouTube.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this. When we set up the show, it's kind of a rolling out of things. And we have had on our list that we're going to be doing live YouTube. Like we're going to be live everywhere. We just hadn't implemented it yet. And you can see, hopefully you can see us. We have the capability. We just haven't rolled it out yet. And I think this is one of our first live shows for this show to do it on YouTube, which is fine. It works. It's fine. We just haven't added that capability. It's basically machines. You just add machines. And so what happened was we did that. Everything at Google seems to be fine because Google's their own thing. everything at Facebook and Twitter seems to be very, very messed up.
Yeah.
And even if you can get on and get your status or whatever, and it was really slow.
Very slow.
The pages weren't loading and stuff. Trust me, if it's the live streaming and sending video, that's going to be hosed until everything's fixed. Usually what happens, and I don't know what their infrastructure is, but sometimes there's shared infrastructure.
Yeah.
So I find it interesting that both Twitter and Facebook are having the problems, because our Periscope went down too.
Yeah.
Now, it could be the route between here and there that could be affected. So it could be the ISPs getting hit with that. Something's going on. Okay?
Right.
I know this stuff. I'm a tech guy. I deal with this stuff. So
It's what you do.
right. And generally the way we build this studio and everything is, yeah, something could go down, but not everything is going to go down like this.
Right.
It's not expected. Well, we've had
outage before.
power outages, right?
Yeah.
Where the power took down and that took the show down.
Right.
You know, did we have internet outage before? Yeah, maybe, but the power outage more.
Right. Yeah.
Not so
I
much.
think we only had internet due to power outage.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
this is the first time the internet has gone kaput.
Yeah, during
Wow.
the show. I mean,
Yeah.
it does. You know, your internet does go out. It does happen sometimes, but generally, you know, we have good internets here, and so it's okay.
Schmutz
But it can
happens.
happen. I mean, we can have the internet, just the local internet, go out. But the internet didn't. That was the whole thing. It didn't go out. It
Right.
was just Facebook
Yeah.
and Twitter stuff, which is where we happen to be doing the show. Very interesting, Colonel Hogan.
Wait a minute, Clink.
Yes.
Horrigan. Yes.
And
Jenna
then-
Burkhalter.
And then Google's like, I see nothing, I know nothing, I Google,
Right.
googly. So we should be.
Who was the other guy in Hogan's Heroes? He was the Colonel, except he was SS.
Oh,
He goes, what is this man doing here?
yeah. The Burkhalter or whatever.
Remember Burkhalter was the guy that went, said, wait a minute, Clink.
Yeah.
Horrigan, come in, sit down.
Yeah, no, I know. But it's and you know, to take a page
Colonel
out of,
Hochstetter.
okay,
Colonel
yeah.
Hochstetter. What is this man doing here?
to take a page
Yeah.
out of Larry David's comedy choices from this weekend. Now we're going to talk about SS jokes on
Right,
Hogan's Heroes. But let me
Yeah.
to prove a point. Look, here we are. Happy-go-lucky on YouTube right there, right now. So if you're
Yay.
hopefully getting this, and we did put the link out there, it's probably a good reason for us to go ahead and get that YouTube implemented.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a rare thing, and it could...
Well, it also just opens up an extra avenue.
yeah.
Too.
Well, also...
If one goes down, the other's still going.
Well, then that's why we had the Facebook and the Twitter, the Periscope.
Right.
And we've had good engagement on those platforms,
Yeah.
which is why we haven't stopped on there. It's like, wow, people actually engage and stuff on those platforms. We were surprised when we was like, well, let's try these and see how it goes, and then we'll see if we're going to keep doing it on Facebook or Twitter. And it was like worked out really nicely. So.
Yeah. Good.
So we want to keep them.
Yeah, except for today, it's worked out quite well.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to look up here. Yeah, I mean, you know it's bad because we can kind of just cover. And yes, I'm getting a message going, you're up on YouTube. It's like, we are up on YouTube. We are just fine.
it's like,
But we weren't on Facebook and Twitter. But I just wanted to keep doing the show because I was up late and I need the coffee. So
Right.
you know, it's like I'm not leaving you.
plus we got to end it on a good note, right? We just can't.
We could have just we were gonna end it at some point. It was like, jeez.
Internet's
Along with the
down,
Hogan's
yeah.
Heroes theme, we were just gonna end it.
That's right.
We're going to shut ourselves and we will end it. It's like, and that was the end of Coffee with Curmudgeons. The internet went out and we all hung ourselves.
We are not here right now. We are in solitary confinement.
We can't end it in the bunker because we don't have an intern to pour petrol over our bodies and set us on fire.
That's apropos. We're ending it in the bunker. You know?
It is kind of... Oh, man.
You've already shot Shotzi?
Yeah.
Not good. We're going to... No.
The movie... okay. Are you aware of the Hitler finds out about... I mean, it's great. We're back and we're talking Hitler. I mean, let's continue
Hitler
the
on
Larry
Monday.
David conversation,
That's
shall
right.
we? It's just like, what a Monday. Wow, what a Monday.
Mondays with Hitler.
I mean, it started with me, like, with me falling outside and taking, so there's grass and there's
you're
grass
saying
in my coffee.
it was an omen?
Yeah, it was so, Jason.
Yeah.
It really, like, I went to bed late and I was like, I am tired, and you're like, are you? And I was like, no, if you are, I'm good, because gotta do it, gotta get in there.
Yeah.
It's Monday. It always sets up Monday, and it was like I was walking out and I was like Jim Carrey, and I had my bag. And, hello, everybody. Good morning. It's a little brisk
Hello,
today.
world.
I can't wait. We haven't done a show in a week. I can't wait. And then,
And then
flying grass and mud and everything. And yes, so that was the omen. That was like the
Oops. That's right.
I was gonna look here actually just for you.
Okay.
And it's if you do it on the news sites, it's not so good. You have to, when you have to find out internet outages, you kind of have to dig, and oftentimes you have to dig into, like, you might even have to go into Reddit groups or whatever. There is one website that I can show you called Down Detector.
Down Detector. Okay.
And that's a good one. And here's what you do. I'll put it on you while I do it. You go,
Hi.
is Facebook down?
Is
Okay?
Facebook down?
You just Google that, and then you got current problems and status at Down Detector. And here's what you get. I'll just show you. If you ever want to know what's going on, just put it up here. So you get something like this. So it Down Detector goes, and there's like, well, it says 19 there. That's not, but it looks like 1,200. There's a lot of problems. So you have a graph, and then the graph goes way up.
It means we're not the only ones.
And it's only people who are reporting them, but and then there's chat, and why is my Facebook not working? And it could be something else. Even though I cannot use Facebook, Twitter, even YouTube at the moment. Oh, okay. Eugene, Oregon out. See, people are like posting little things, and it's all kind of crowd-sourced or whatever. So, but it's pretty good. Like it's a good place to just sort of go and go, I think I got a problem. I wonder if there's problems. And if you just see the occasional thing, but if you see a bunch of people posting and you see the graph go up,
outage,
it means there might be something going on.
There might be an issue.
And what's really cool is, I'll show you this.
Okay.
Welcome to Doc's TikTok. We'll be back.
Da-da,
Might as well.
ba-ba.
But see, look, you get this right here. This outage map.
Happy morning, everybody.
So they
Welcome
say this
to
is a
Doc's
Facebook outage
TikTok.
map, and it's basically based on people reporting things. And look, you kind of let's see
like
how
our
bad.
area.
Yeah, we're up here in Portland, Oregon,
Yep.
and that's not a good look, actually. No. That really reddish kind of.
All up and down the I-5 corridor.
Well,
Look at
that's
that.
where the internet runs, kind
Yeah.
of. So Oop. Look out! Sorry.
As we close in on it.
Yeah. So I mean, that seems to
be.
be kind of not so good. I don't know. I mean, it's not a definitive thing, but it's kind of okay. I mean, it's just a really quick way.
Yeah.
There's other sites too, and there's some other tools, but
I like that though. Down Detector. I'm going to remember that.
it's easy. It's just a really easy, friendly way, and you're always going to see a problem. Like you'll see problems or whatever. Like if you look up the major ISPs, you'll always see problems in areas because people always have outages and local outages.
Yeah.
You have to look at the trend line. You have to look at it like, oh wow, everything was okay, and then like we saw and all of a sudden, hey, all of a sudden this morning, this graph went way up. Like, people are
Right.
complaining,
Yeah.
which may indicate that something's going wrong. And especially if people are like, I'm in Portland and this sucks. I'm in Ohio and this sucks, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, we might have something going on. So
Gotcha.
I'm just kind of... I'm very suspicious of the date today,
Yes.
you know? So I'm... since it is November 6th.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past
Yeah,
some sort
I'm
of...
trying to like... Well, see, if you do it, Google News gives you like... You have to set your latest, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, you can do the searches, whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah, that's it.
Now I'm done with the show. I'm bored.
Good night, everybody.
Well, there's like... Well, it's 10... Well, no, we're done. We're actually would be done with the show because it's 10:56. I know the clocks have not been set either. Because what happened yesterday? The savings time, not savings time or whatever.
Bring ahead, fall back. Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, see, like right now, I just have a Twitter page, and it kind of refreshes, but it's kind of spinning a little bit. Definitely a lot slower than it would go normally. But
yeah,
Google,
there's definitely something going on.
Yeah. And it's still, I'm spinning here kind of on Twitter-ish.
You'll spin me round, baby, right?
Yeah. I mean, Twitter,
50 extra bonus points if you can tell me who did that song.
And it, I always like Dead or Alive.
There you go.
I always get it mixed up.
See, I knew you would get it. Whenever I say something that other people are like, I don't remember. But yeah, we know our 80s rock and roll. Dead or Alive. He wore a little eye patch.
Yeah.
You spin me. He passed away, too.
I was just going to say,
ago.
I think I can't. Yeah, so Twitter's spinning right now.
Yeah.
It could be, I'm in tech mode. I'm in normal. I'll be your internet tech. So I'm like, it's like a dog with a bone. It's like, it's a problem.
That's right.
Whatcho?
I will fix this.
We could have a tech show. So it could be from here.
Yeah.
Our ISP, well-known people who provide the internet, big company, to their links to those clouds. So
you could be the tech guy, and I'll be sitting next to you. I'll be like the Luddite, like, gee, internet, what's that?
I am I'm cold right now.
It is a little chilly.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly here.
So we were in the middle of talking. I was talking about, I don't know. I'm all like, just like, yeah, it just sort of
kind of throws you off the rails, right?
It's like, we were talking about.
If this was radio, we would go to a song right now, then come back.
We did. And here's the other thing too. We have this mobile. I'm telling you, there's a mobile audio live stream. Totally was unaffected by all this, which also tells me that we're not having really an internet problem here
from our end.
We're having an internet problem out in the cloud.
Yeah.
With those particular internet places. So I mean, because we have other servers and stuff that are connected to the internet that stream live radio on TuneIn and
Plus,
stuff. So.
Google was fine, and if Google's fine, it usually means that it's not a mass. It's a mass one, but on someone else's. Platform.
I thought they were like shutting us down because we were talking about Rand Paul or whatever. And we'll post. I guess I'm not sure what we're gonna post because we've got a half recorded show and then we started this. So, right. So I was saying
instead of girl interrupted, it's show interrupted.
Yeah. So I was saying, I was talking about. I went to the movie last night.
That's right, Manchurian Candidate. Yeah.
And I went to this movie, Manchurian Candidate. It was not and you mentioned that there was a remake with Denzel Washington,
right?
Which
yeah.
I've never seen,
Me
and
either.
I don't know that I was excited to see the remake. Again, love Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Love Denzel Washington, but you said, you made the comment. Let's just recap, shall we?
Yes.
What was said. But you said...
On the last Coffee with Curmudgeons.
Yeah, you said, see, I needed to pull the tape and then put it in here and do the Meet the Press. Previously on Coffee with the Curmudgeons,
Yeah.
Jason Allen, you had said this about Denzel Washington. Let's play the tape. I never said that. I never said that. It's right there on the tape.
No, yeah, but I'm always leery about reboots because, I mean, if it like we were talking about before, if it's like something epic like I mentioned Citizen Kane, right? If it's epic, and Manchurian Candidate to me is in that league. I mean, it's an iconic sort of thing. So when they said no matter how good Denzel Washington is,
right.
I said, man, some things you just shouldn't mess with. Like, I was a little verklempt when they decided to go make the remake of Ghostbusters. Because and it did work. I mean, I didn't mind the movie, but I just,
that was a whole but that was a
Murray
whole different...
Ramis,
Yeah, but that was a whole different reboot, though.
No, I know, but I just, when things like that...
Women, and all that.
Don't, it's like if someone decided to reboot, think about it, what if someone decided to reboot Star Wars? Not like a sequel or prequel.
Though.
No, but the Star Wars, same thing... same plot, same lines, same everything.
I don't know that you're making a good argument here.
No?
Well, first of all, they reboot all the popular stuff anyway. I know what you mean. Like, if they rebooted 1977 Star Wars.
There you go.
But, I mean, isn't that almost kind of what The Force Awakens is?
Kind of. I mean, it's prequel or a sequel or whatever.
But it's still like, let's go back to that... I know what you mean, not remake it. But
or Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What if they redid that?
They could. Maybe. Yeah, I think
Spielberg?
So. It's not a series, so.
No, I know, but it's kind of like, would you
want...
want...
Not that I'd watch it, but it could. It's enough of a story.
It's nothing sacred anymore.
No, I know. But, I think the Ghostbusters, you're kind of wrong, because it was it wasn't... I didn't see it. Sorry. There's a bunch of movies I didn't see, but it seemed like it wasn't quite a reboot or it was just. It was it was like Ghostbusters for now or whatever. I don't know.
Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that bothered me is everyone freaked out because rather than a cast full of dudes, it was a cast full of ladies, and everyone freaked out because oh my God, how could you do that? And it's like. Why not?
Well, yeah, I didn't freak out because it's ladies. I guess the only thing I was
just
kind of
another cast of dude comedians?
No,
and be like, okay, well, yeah, that's.
I don't know. I'm always one of those guys that's kind of like, well, if it was good and it's kind of an icon thing, just leave it alone, let it stand.
Yeah, no, I know, I get that. But I mean, when we were at the Comic-Con a few years back,
sure,
there were those tons of. People who show up as Ghostbuster cosplayers, right? Yeah. And they're ladies and guys, and they love it. So, it's like...
Yeah. They did a documentary about that, too, the Ghostbusters. The cosplayers.
Really?
Very interesting, yeah. And there's a lot of them really get into it. In fact, there's a couple of people on my friends list here on Facebook. One is a local guy, Milwaukee, Oak Grove guy. He does the full Ghostbusters cosplay suit, proto pack or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Well, that's what we saw at the...
I like it. I think it's kind of cool.
That's what I saw at the Comic-Con. In fact, I think we got there's a little clip of the Ghostbusters folks, and they're the costumes and everything, and they got the pack, and they got the
proton packs.
Yeah, I mean, they got the whole thing. They really go out. I mean, most people who really do the cosplay thing, it's kind of like, if I were doing cosplay, I was going as Batman. It would be a shopping bag with a couple cutouts and then draw little bat ears. Like, hey, I'm cosplaying right now. Oh man, that guy is
a little trash bag with the bat symbol on
it. Drawn with a ink pen,
Look, kids, it's ghetto Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much would be.
Who's that fat bald guy next to him? Yeah, I'm Robin. Hi.
You'd just be wearing the shirt you're wearing with a cardboard cutout with an R on it. It's like, hey, how's it going?
Look like Laverne and Shirley with just the R written on there. You're like, I'm Robin.
Man, they would kick us out. It's like the two creepy dudes, the Batman in the garbage sack with the and the dude who put R on his shirt with a pen.
Oh my god! It looks like he just stapled it to his chest.
Get him out there. Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any tape, so I just had to, affix it somehow.
This would be our cosplay.
That would be,
and we would be exit. They just like, no, you guys, it's like I worked all night on this.
Yeah.
Unknown. It would be like Batman, the unknown comic as Batman. If you
the little bat ears on top of the bag,
Hey, everybody! Hey, I'm Batman. Spitting out of the eye, the Gong Show Batman. It would be Chuck Barris would be like, yeah, that would be me at cosplay.
Right, we got to, we'll just give you like a belt, and then we'll like tape things to your belt for your like utility belt and stuff. You got like a bungee cord thing on there, or something. It's like
Leatherman or whatever. It's
like Leatherman tool. It's like I got it.
Yeah. Oh, that would be us cosplaying.
Your Batmobile's a Pinot? Hey, we're on a budget here, folks. Come on.
Yeah. Do one of those little car to goes, right? We just open a car. We just put like a piece of cardboard with a bat symbol and tape it to the roof of the car to go. It's like, hey, we're Batman.
That's right. You can do that.
Who's the dude in the garbage sack with the second? He's Batman. He's Batman. Jeez.
Right. Back off, all right? He's Batman.
Oh, we might be onto something here. We might have to do Comic-Con. We could get a group of people.
Yeah.
the ghetto league, the ghetto Justice League.
Oh
my god.
Right.
I don't think ghetto's a PC word, but I can't describe it any better than that.
Right.
And it would just be like, it would just be like people with trash bags. With,
Yeah, Aquaman, the only thing he can do is just wear a Speedo. Speedo and those flip-flops.
And one of those toy, when you go to the dollar store, the toy snorkel with the thing.
Right.
I'm Aquaman.
Right.
Obviously.
Okay, I understand you're Aquaman, man. I kind of get it, but why do you put suntan stuff on your nose for? What, are you heading to the beach or something? I'm Aquaman.
Yeah, but this is cosplay when you're like 6.
Yeah.
When you're about 6 years old, you're like, Mom, can I borrow a trash bag? Why? I want to be Batman. It's like, this is what you do outside. When you fight the great war of the greatest generation, you've got the for the helmet, you've got the cardboard box over your head. It's this real Norman Rockwell sort of stuff. It wasn't like elaborate like today. It's like, Dad, buy me that $235 bayonet on Amazon so I can go outside and play war with my buddies. It's like, but the bayonet was real.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be Superman, aren't you? I am Superman. Mm-hmm. Then why is the S backwards on your shirt?
Yeah.
Well, I was in the mirror. Oh. Oh, man.
It would just be... Superman would just be a dude in slacks and a blue shirt.
It's a blue shirt.
Maybe maybe the S is just kind of a small S on there. Who are you? I'm Superman, obviously.
Yeah, we couldn't afford a cape, so we had to go to the Dollar Tree and get one of those tablecloths and then put it in the back.
Oh, man.
Dude, you're not Wonder Woman. You're a guy. Stop it. I am Wonder Woman.
Jeez.
The ghetto Justice League.
It's a Monday.
Yeah.
And it has not been a good Monday.
No.
We came in here with happiness and goodness, and what did you do to us Monday? You shut us down. I'm just imagining. It's like we're rolling in with our crap ghetto cosplay. It's like we see some lady on the street and go, hey, if we give you $10, you want to be our Wonder Woman? It's like, right. I'll be anything you want, honey. Whoa!
Get on in.
Oh, yeah, come on. Would you say your name
Now,
was again?
it's not a Pinot. We're going to upgrade slightly. We're going to get like some old ice cream van or something. We're going to pull up like, dude, what are you doing? Get in the van. We're going to go cosplay. You know?
Oh.
It's like, oh man.
It sounds like a plan to me at this point. We've
Yeah.
discussed it enough where I'm like, in my head, I'm like going, I mean, I'm sure the Wizard World people would be very thrilled with us. I think they were thrilled with us last time.
Hey,
You know?
you're supposed to be the Flash, right? Yeah, I'm the Flash. You're using a walker, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, I get there somehow.
I wore red Nikes.
A rascal, you know, he's gonna drive into the rascal. Look, it's a Flash. You know?
This would have been. See, this would
Or
have been.
Nikes.
Yeah, I got these. I found the red Nikes. They're a couple things too big, but I found them at the Goodwill, and they were $2. And,
Look, we got you in the bin, man. We got you some red Nikes.
well, no, that's
Found it in
what
the bin.
a Flash needs some red Nikes, right?
Sure.
I don't know, or Adidas, or maybe it's just
We could just Sharpie it.
Nike like.
You know?
That was weird. Nike like
Yeah.
weirdness, you know, just like those cheap Chinese knockoffs or whatever. It's like
Right.
not Nikes, they're Mikeys. You know?
They're Mikeys.
M-I-K-E,
How come
but
this-
it's pronounced
How come
Mikey.
the swoosh is backwards?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, we could take any
Upside
shoe
down.
and we'll just get like a red magic marker and
Yeah.
we'll just paint it there.
I'm
and
just
then
thinking
put
the Flash needs like some
Yeah.
red Keds or something. It's the Flash. But anyway,
Yeah.
this sounds like one of those plans. This sounds like would have been good for your anarchy crew.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
this would have been like a
Yeah. The
Buddha could have been Flash.
He could have.
Like, he's very fast.
yeah, him and his candy. You know, he's like he's fast. Don't worry about it. He'll get there.
Yeah. You might just wait here, though, please. You know. But
right.
man, I could just see the people like security just following around, follow the Batman in the trash bag.
Right. Out of my way, Commissioner Gordon.
This is horrible. It would be homeless or cosplay. Homeless or cosplay.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We
We're
have
the,
really
we're the
devolved on this
transient
Monday.
Justice League. Justice is transient.
Oh
Yes.
god. Folks, this is what you get when you ruin our Mondays, okay? See, I'm
Yeah.
blaming our audience for like the internet. Not your fault. But somebody's out. It is somebody's
out
fault.
to get us. Yeah.
So this Manchurian Candidate,
Yeah.
which was a good movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's a movie that I think I was talking about. There's like the 80s or the 90s, somewhere in this time period. The movie went out on release again, like re-release.
Yeah.
1962, black and white, MGM.
yeah.
And I remember it was like big hubbub about it, and it's like, you know, this is a movie everybody should watch because it's a very interesting movie.
Yeah.
And for its time. Now you got to remember when you watch old movies, there's stuff that happens in old movies that the audience was like, whoa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And today in 2017, you're like, you know,
It's all been done.
great
before.
example is Psycho.
Yeah.
Right? Audiences were shocked and awed when they saw that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's talk of there's all sorts of talk about, you know, well, the murdering and other deep psychology things that people have probably never heard of before. The audience nowadays, we're like, oh yeah, we know all about that, and we got the internet, we know about everything.
Yeah.
But this movie was very, you know.
Edgy.
Yeah, well, it's about brainwashing and stuff. Before, like, you know, when we grew up watching the TV, everyone was being brainwashed and everything.
Right.
But I think that was after, like, things
Yeah,
like the Manchurian Candidate and all these things kind of came out in the 50s and the 60s, and it was like, ooh, what's this brainwashing you're talking about? Which is...
Well, up to that point, brainwashing was either sci-fi or some weird
every
thing like...
show was...
Yeah, or some weird thing like Reefer Madness, you know? Where
Yeah.
it's something made you... But,
Well, that was just reefer.
but it was... but this, you know, had to do with politics and had to do with
Yeah.
the Cold War.
Well,
And it really tapped into kind of a...
So the novel, novel was 1959
Yes.
by Richard Condon. So
Yeah.
1959. And then it was made into this movie in 1962.
Yeah.
And it's got this all-star cast. I'm trying to like get kind of a thing here. It was quite a sensation. Okay. And I'm thinking this is all like I was thinking, gosh, like wasn't From Russia with Love came
Yeah.
out at this time?
Yeah.
How about Doctor Strangelove? You know, there's all these Cold War
39 Steps.
39 Steps. That's
From Here to Eternity.
yeah. We're talking early 60s though. 39 Steps is way older, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. But
What am I thinking of then?
I'm not sure.
There's something else.
39 Steps is like old. That's one of I think Hitchcock's English movies.
Yeah, no. This was another.
You're thinking of another one, yeah.
Remember the one where it's the movie where Harry Fonda's the president, and at the end, the bomber goes through and they can't call it back, and it bombs Moscow, and the phone starts. Whee!
Wow.
And then to make things right, Fonda literally has to nuke New York City.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's 8 Days in May. Is that it?
How about The Russians Are Coming?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Thank you. Chat. Is that Failsafe?
Failsafe. There you go.
Failsafe, okay.
Failsafe. Yes.
This is our chat room right
Yay.
here. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Yes. No. Failsafe. I have not seen that movie.
We need to make him. We need to make Steve. He's going to be our data department.
Well, there's things in the works if we can just keep our
Steve, congratulations!
basics.
You're a producer.
yeah.
You're producing
Well,
us now.
Yeah, there's we got stuff in the works, but yeah, I have not seen
Yeah.
Failsafe. I'm going to go check that out because it sounds like an interesting movie. I have never seen it.
A Failsafe, yeah.
Never seen it. So
It's a gripper.
So the deal with the Manchurian Candidate
Yeah.
is it stars Frank Sinatra.
Oh yeah.
So it's Frank Sinatra, Lawrence Harvey, Janet Leigh.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, from Psycho.
Yeah.
And Angela Lansbury.
A young Angela Lansbury.
Henry Silva.
Ooh.
The great Henry Silva. This is a guy who I'm not sure what his ethnicity. He plays an Asian guy. But he was always like a heavy in like these movies, especially in the 60s and the 70s. He'd turn up on television. I believe he was in Sharky's Machine.
Wow.
He was the assassin. Henry Silva, love it. I'm like, and this movie's got. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he was kind of typecast as a bad guy, and then the other person that's in this movie, which I totally forgot because I hadn't seen it in so long. James Gregory, Captain from Barney Miller. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it Captain or Inspector? What was it? What was he?
He was.
Look him up. TV. He was. I think he was Inspector, and he would always. Our
was Barney Miller's
curmudgeon
boss.
would come in, kind of, hey, Byron. You know the guy is not looking so good, but anyway, he plays the senator dude.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of people in the
I love that guy.
a lot of good actors in this and people who come up and do a lot of movies and TV and other roles later, like when you're watching the movie, and if you ever like watch the television or the all that stuff, you'd see. Did the lights just flicker too?
Yep.
Oh, good.
What's next?
What's next? And my chair is squeaking right now, so I'm talking, and all of a sudden my chair is squeaking. It was like, I'm like, okay. So anyway, so it was good, and the deal was, what happened, if I recall, is that, and I'm trying to see if they have the history here. It came out in '62, right?
Yeah.
And it was well received, nominated. I'm trying to see if I recall. What happened is it was taken out of release because of the Kennedy assassination. It was like it came out before, but if I remember the story about it, is it kind of got, you know, sunk because it was like after Kennedy was assassinated, it was like
I wouldn't doubt it.
Let's not be like putting that Manchurian Candidate out there. So it was released in when 62.
Yeah, I can see that.
October.
Oh yeah,
Of 62, so about a year
and a month later
before.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I didn't read the background, but that was what the story when it had been re-released was that that it had been kind of I don't know. I was just looking here. Yeah, okay. So here's what I was looking for. According to rumor, Sinatra removed the film from distribution after the Kennedy assassination in 1963. Michael Schlesinger, who was responsible for the film's 1988 reissue. That's when I remember seeing it in 1988 because I remember it was a big deal. Here's a movie you haven't really seen because it didn't play on TV or anything necessarily.
Right.
Denies the rumor, which is disproved by microfilmed editions of the New York Times and other American newspapers from the 60s and 70s. According to Schlesinger, the film's disappearance, or what was claimed to be its disappearance, was not due to the assassination, but was a result of the movie's initial distribution running its course by November 1963. See, that's what confused me because it was 62 and it was like, well, it did. I'd always heard that the movie didn't really make it so much because of the assassination, but then it was like, well, it was made in 62, so it was made before
a year.
November 63. In those days, it could take a film several months to play across the United States. After the initial screenings were over, a successful American film could resurface more than a year later in drive-ins and other cinemas that booked films that many would-be customers had seen already. Movie listings in the New York Times from January 64 indicate the Manchurian Candidate was revived at a cinema in Brooklyn, New York at the time, which was 2 months after the assassination. Yes, I know this well. Oh, well, here it is. The film became the premiere offering of the CBS Thursday night movie on the night of September 16th, 1965.
Oh.
I'm reading this on Wikipedia. So the New York Times was suspended from publication at the time due to a labor strike. So they didn't run ads. Hundreds of other daily through the United States ran ads for the night's CBS Thursday night movie. I don't know. Sinatra's representative reacquired the rights to the Manchurian Candidate in 72 after the initial 10-year contract with United Artists expired. Subsequently, it was telecast in 74 on NBC Saturday Night at the Movies.
Interesting. Okay.
Verified by the day's editions of many newspapers. So, and then it was revived in the 87, 88. So there you go. So apparently what we thought was kind of debunked by research, that it was not actually sunk, that it did actually play here and there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Weird.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this is like a kind of a typical legend of this film.
Yeah.
And if you actually watch it and you think in context after the Kennedy assassination, I don't know. I mean, I equate that with, like, if you think of the movies that were released around 9/11,
right,
it's hard to think of the movies that were released around there because it's like, what was going on? Nobody was at that point thinking of movies or going to.
It's just one of those events that blots out literally every other time around. Oh, really? That came out then? Oh, I didn't realize that. You know.
And I think, well, I wasn't around for the Kennedy assassination, but I would say that probably those two incidences are somewhat similar, in modern times. You could also say Pearl Harbor, but that was before, most people had television or whatever.
Just radio at that point. But
but those are kind of like these iconic events that happened in the U.S. that everything kind of stopped.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely on mass media, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the world stopped in November of '63, right? You know, I mean,
Well-
even if you weren't alive then, right? Even if you're like us, Gen Xers, right?
Well, here's
You remember though, still. I mean, even though we weren't there, I mean, I can, you know, we all have seen the footage of Cronkite, you know.
oh yeah.
At the time, I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
iconic, and people. I mean, I remember talking to my father, you know, and he could tell you exactly
Well, it was live.
what he
It
was doing.
It was live.
Yeah.
I mean, it was live on the radio and then on television. So
Yeah, first time that really, you know, since it's TV, the first time
Well,
something of world sort of shaking.
the assassination or whatever you want to call it of Lee Harvey Oswald was live on television.
Yeah.
I mean, the footage is television footage live on where Jack Ruby steps out and
Yep.
shoots him, you
Yeah.
know, as he's coming out of the police thing, and that was televised live. The assassination of Kennedy was not televised live.
But
the
reported in real time.
It was
though.
reported in real time
Yeah.
by reporters on the radio.
Yeah.
Who actually, you know, were reporting it, and then the film footage of the actual assassination came from the Zapruder film, which was released years later, like in the I want to say the early 70s, when that actually went public.
Zapruder. Yeah, it was.
It wasn't actually even in the 60s that they had the film.
74, I want to say.
Yeah, it didn't actually see public release until then. This is a nice discussion. The one thing that I noticed is the film was released on October 24th, 1962, at the height of the U.S. Soviet hostility during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
Which had happened then. So and that was October 16th to 28th.
Man, that
was a
was
Cuban Missile Crisis.
That would have really just scared people out of their
that was
gourds.
a huge one, though. The Cuban, that's other than the Kennedy assassination that came a year later.
Right.
I know, talking to people, right, relatives and all that, the Cuban Missile Crisis was also, even though disaster was averted, that was a big deal. Like
huge.
Everything stopped, and it's like, we're pretty much gonna go to war with.
Yeah,
you know, and
then you have a movie like The Manchurian Candidate that's
which
out
came
there
out
that
during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So I don't know.
Wow.
And the thing is, the plot is really pretty intense and crazy and Cold War, and you know, and it's also a pretty darn good Frank Sinatra movie.
It is.
He's like really he had some acting chops there.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't do a singing thing.
No, well, he won his Oscar was best supporting actor when he I think it was From Here to Eternity.
That's what I was trying to think of a couple of his big roles, and From Here to Eternity was one that I was thinking of, and The Manchurian Candidate I always think of, and there was some detective movie that he did in the late 60s or early 70s or something that was actually pretty good too. And
Seamus?
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, it has a cast, and I hadn't seen it in quite some time, and there was on the big screen, which is pretty cool. It's got another thing too. It's got a great soundtrack. Like I've seen people perform on the soundtrack. It's very good music. If you're a musical kind of symphonic kind of person, the soundtrack is rather noted. So it's just, I don't know. It was fun to watch, and there's a lot of interesting twists. I mean, it has. You know, like any older movie, you could say some of the styles and stuff are 1962, not 2017. But then again, you know, it is very noir, and the way it's shot is very interesting.
And it taps into the whole Cold War sort of intense, you know, black and white, use of light and shadow, the music, you know, and it just
it definitely has an intensity to it. And the cast is great. I mean, everyone always they love Angela Lansbury because of Murder, She Wrote and stuff. Yeah. And it was like, wait till you see The Manchurian Candidate. Wait till you see that, because she's just like, whoa, holy Moses, you know. And the way the whole thing kind of starts. and the way they play out the brainwashing thing, and the way the filmmaker shows like what's really happening versus what the guys who are being brainwashed are seeing or experiencing, what they think they're seeing versus what's actually happening. It's really well done, you know. So it was
very interesting.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend. I mean, I'm sure you can go out and grab
Netflix has that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I wonder if they did. You know, they've had Doctor Strangelove. They've had some good stuff. I was really thinking about this when I was thinking 62 and then I was thinking of like, and I can't remember. It might have been 63 or whatever, but like, or maybe 62, like From Russia with Love, the second James Bond movie, the Doctor Strangelove, all these movies that were really, really, really so good in the early 60s. And some of them tackling this whole Cold War crisis, the Russians and the Chinese versus the United States.
Product of the times, you know.
And and it's kind of interesting. And interesting how this is all portrayed in cinema and popular culture. So, you know, and they had, you know, there's this kind of this subtext or whatever you would call it in the Manchurian Candidate that's all very much McCarthyist and, you know, and the commies, the Ruskies have invaded the top levels of government and all that. Those threads are in there too, along with other filmmaking things. So it was good. I mean, I you know.
You know, I am so surprised that there hasn't been more movies made on the McCarthy era. The only one I can really think of that's come out later is Good
like
Night and
Now.
Right. No, but I mean Good Night and Good Luck.
Yeah.
That was one that tackled the McCarthy era.
Oh yeah.
But I'm surprised that hasn't been more of
I saw that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, good movie.
Was that Clooney?
Yes, he did that, and he also, I think, produced
film about Edward R. Murrow.
Love Murrow, yeah.
Which was his sign off, right?
Good Night and Good Luck.
And Murrow,
to all the ships at sea or whatever it is.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, but I don't know, Jason. I feel like we're kind of easing into a new McCarthy era right now.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone's a Russian agent.
Yeah. Especially if you saw the news over the weekend where it just doubled and tripled down.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And then...
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's just... Well, like I said, I don't know how things are going right now out there on the internet because we're trying to do a show and not, like, post to our Facebook or whatever.
We're in the bunker, folks.
Yeah, but who knows, you know... Because a week ago, when we were kind of in and out, Facebook and Twitter testified in front of Congress.
Yeah.
And I was going to watch some. I just haven't had time. It was on C-SPAN, but I've read little like highlights of it. And was like, oh, that's nice. Because anytime tech companies go up in front of Congress, especially when it's a spoiler kind of a thing, it's not good.
No.
Because usually you have... You know, members that they call them members of our congressional members, and sometimes they say stuff which you go, you really don't get technology, do you, Mr. Politician, sir? You know,
some craggy old 70-ish guy that has no idea what's that thing you do on the interwebs.
Tubes. You take the truck through the tubes, right?
Have you ever heard of transistors, Mr. Zuckerberg?
Yeah, you know, it ends up like you. I mean, I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but you know, you do end up with these people who are like ask questions, and it's like you don't know how the Facebook works, do you, Senator?
Yeah, kids.
You know, and then you got the tech guys who are like, what? What do you do? What? That's how it works, Grandpa. You know, I mean, it's like, they don't care. Well, yeah, we sell ads to anybody.
Kind of cocky, you know.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's like it ends up being like Watergate meets Silicon Valley, you know, the TV show or something. And you're just like, we have a serious disconnect between these two entities of Silicon Valley and especially the social startup, social industry like Facebook and Twitter and Google and all that. And then these guys here who are like, you know.
Yeah. But nowadays they get off light. I mean, it isn't like the old days, like in the 50s, right? Where you got like Sam Rayburn of Texas. He's like leaning over his little dais up there, and he's got the cigarette burning between his fingers, you know, and he's using it to point at the people. Have you ever been, or are you now a member of the, you know? Nowadays, you know, it's
Well, I mean,
entertainment.
I think...
Except for Franken. Franken's pretty good up there.
Yeah. So, this brings up a good thing that maybe we should discuss.
Okay.
It's political.
Okay.
We try to avoid it, but we got nothing. You guys shut us down. You guys, you're telling the audience. It's not your fault. I'm
You
sorry.
guys.
I'm just going to find the person who,
Right.
you know,
Yes.
who knows. What's Anonymous doing today? You know, Anonymous, the one guy. It's like
right.
a hat and the coat hanger
Right.
with the whirl. It's just one guy. It's like he's like the Invisible
out there.
Man, right? Because it's oh hey, don't be mad at me.
It's the
Just-
man.
Just joking, Anonymous.
The man is keeping us down.
So there's that show called Frontline on PBS, and they do stuff I've watched it before.
Sure.
So the last Frontline was a two-parter. It's called something like Putin's Revenge. I think that's what it's called. Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah? What's going on with that? I have not seen it. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
And here's always the problem with Putin. When you do a thing about Putin,
Yeah.
you can't sit there. I can't sit there. You can't. I mean, I don't think we can sit there and go, oh, he's such a nice man. Look at that nice man. No. He's an oligarch. There's a power. We know this.
Yeah.
This isn't like no one's walking around going, Putin, nice guy. He's former KGB, okay?
Yeah.
That's not the point. But you also don't need to pound the issue with the Thor's
Yeah. Yeah.
Ragnar hammer. We can have a balanced discussion about things in balance.
So they went a little heavy on the thuggishness.
Oh man. Well, and it was weird.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking people's State Department and journalists and stuff, and when they would talk on the air, they just had these eyes. Like, I mean, it was like really like, you know, I'm just like gonna watch the weekly CIA show tonight, CIA ops show. I mean, it was. Okay,
Welcome
the
to
part
Deep
that
State. I'm your host.
Let me just give you one example.
Okay.
I'm just going to give this one example. We could sit here for hours. We could go through it minute by minute, okay? And again, this isn't like, well, Putin did this to these people, or, you know, yeah, there's bad stuff that happened. But let me ask you this, Jason. Has the United States ever gotten themselves involved in, say, the internal politics or elections of other sovereign states, the United States, or just we just like, hey?
Off the top of my head, I would have to say yes.
Especially during the Cold War.
Throw a dart at Latin America, and there isn't one election we didn't get involved with down there.
Okay, so
know?
here's the thing.
Yeah.
And here's the problem I had with it.
Okay.
We know we have the CIA. It exists.
I
we
call-
have the State Department. We
I
have the
call them
NSA.
Christians in action.
Yeah. Well,
CIA.
what is their
Yeah.
job? We know what their job is, and part of their job
Yeah.
is to spread the wonderful love of the United States of America in any way you can by meddling in. It's not a secret. We know we do this.
Sure.
It's as if this Frontline documentary pretended like we never did anything like that whatsoever at all.
Ultra
Period.
sanctimonious.
Yes. And that was the problem I had with it. It's like, yeah, you got Putin, and Putin's trying to meddle in the Ukraine and all that stuff. But we're just, hey, it's just Ukrainian. Hey, how you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally they had people going, well, you just can't believe that all these people would just come out on the street and protest by themselves. Granted,
Yeah.
people do that, but they do it even better when they get a lot of help, like financial stuff, because it takes time to make those protest scarves and
Yeah.
those things. That's like a money, I'm just saying,
There's a whole lot of
if
logistical
there's things
concerns.
going on in a country that's we kind of like, we
Yeah.
might help it out a little bit.
We might.
And that's not un-American to say that. That's actually the job of... that's actually what these guys are tasked to do, whether you like it or not. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what the CIA does, right?
Spreading democracy, folks.
For God's sakes, if you're a historian, you know this.
Yeah.
And just like the whole time, it's like that never... Okay, and so it gets to this point where the assistant ambassador... I'm not going to say her name,
Okay.
because...
Yeah.
And there's like one Russian guy who's like from the Russian Senate.
Yeah.
Everyone else is from journalists. Oh, and by the way, look up the Smith-Mundt Act. And also research
Yeah.
CIA propaganda in the American press. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, okay? And if you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I call BS. Come on. I mean, did we learn anything from Vietnam and Watergate and all of the other things?
Right.
And there's this act, the Smith-Mundt, which is kind of like supposed to be like, your government's, home government's not supposed to propaganda
Right.
to, like, we can propaganda out, like Voice of America, like we can go, like.
We're not supposed to do it domestically. We're not supposed to taint the waters.
They repealed that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
They kind of rolled that back. Remember the
When was that?
Church Commission? You remember that?
Yeah.
Back in the 70s where they investigated the CIA and found out there was a lot of things that were happening domestically.
Yeah.
Like this was kind of an outgrowth of Watergate. Remember that?
Sure.
Was it Frank Church? Was he the guy?
I believe so.
It was called the Church Commission, and
Yes.
and Congress said, you guys can go outside and you can do whatever you want. Topple governments, do whatever, but you don't come back in here
Right.
and do it inside the country.
Right.
We've had this this balance and this problem, and there are people who want it to happen inside the country, and people who they get a little rash with that. It's like that feels a little bit not good. So, folks, you just got to be aware of this stuff. Just read history. This is not like crazy. We're not doing crazy fake news or anything. There's actual historic precedent. I'm giving you the Church Commission, the Smith-Mundt. Just go look at the history of those things. Like, when you give people power, they're going to use it to the max.
Sure.
Or people. I mean,
And then
entities, right?
You're
And
right,
that's the
yeah.
thing. That's why you're supposed to. That's why the American government is set up the way it is. It's supposed to be the system of checks and balances, right?
Yes.
3 branches of checks and balances.
Yeah.
We can argue how well that's working now with 2 political parties and all that stuff, but basically that's why we do what we do.
We'll talk about that Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
boy.
I don't want to. But anyway, so it just got to the point where one of the there just like was one guy who was a Russian guy who they identified like as the Russian Senate, who would say a couple things like, well, Americans did do this. And it was just like he had very little screen time. Everything else was Department of State.
He's the
journalists who have. Oh, and they talked in the second part. They talked about the whole cyber thing, about fake news and cyber and hacking the elections.
Yeah.
Was there one technology security expert interviewed in this front line for the cyber thing?
I'm willing to venture that probably not.
This many technology independent security experts. The people who told the story about the hacking were all journalists. And I love you journalists, but you're journalists, you're reporters.
Yeah.
And your expertise is limited. And I know there are people who did, but I wanted, when they went into that, I wanted to see industry experts. I wanted to see debate. I wanted to see not a one. It was like this person from the Washington Post. It was all Washington Post, New York Times.
Right.
I looked up the producer of this thing too, and it's like, yeah. I mean, they really, really all have their political bias. And I know when I'm saying this and it's about Putin, then it's like people are like,
yeah,
but Putin, and it's like, I know, but don't feed me a bunch of bull crap.
Yeah.
Feed me. So anyway, the litmus test moment was when the one guy who barely has any scrutiny goes, well, when the Ukraine stuff, you had people from the State Department. You had, and I think even Putin said that in a speech or whatever. Oh, it's State Department, and they were there. They're like in the crowd.
We meddled with it big time. We were all over it.
They had footage of her handing out sandwiches to the protester, and on air she goes, "Yeah, I was there. I was handing out sandwiches to show that we were handing out sandwiches."
Mm-hmm.
Really? Do you think I was born yesterday? Am I a 6-year-old? You're the assistant secretary, and you're just handing out sandwiches to show,
there.
hey, we're for your independence. And I don't care. You know what? If Ukraine wants to be, I mean, there are strategic issues with Putin and oil pipelines and stuff,
sure,
and Ukraine being on his border,
sure,
and us and NATO expansion and stuff. I get it. I'm not debating that.
Yeah,
and you could debate things like that. I'm not debating that. Let's just say, look, we want the Ukraine to be in NATO. We want them on. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Just don't BS with me with, I was just handing out cookies and a little coffee and sandwiches and like a hi.
It was all innocent.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Was that all you were doing? No.
Meanwhile, yeah, you were handing out sandwiches, true. But did anyone realize that the wrapping paper that the sandwiches were in just happened to have been pro pamphlets that here, take a look.
No, it doesn't even need to be that. It's like we're just handing.
Yeah.
We're just handing out sandwiches.
Just handing out sandwiches.
Oh, that's all it is. So I guess
just randomly
that like our operations, the United States, our foreign service, our what we do to influence other governments and stuff is all we need to do is just hand out sandwiches.
Right.
I got a ham. Oh, vegetarian. I think we got one here in the bottom of the thing.
Yeah, you can
That's
be.
all we need to do. That's all the CIA needs to do from this point
just
forward.
Hand out sandwiches.
Just hand out sandwiches.
Yeah, you live in a banana republic. You're about ready to be toppled. Hey, have a sandwich.
Who doesn't love a good sandwich?
No.
You know, maybe they're on to something.
You're about ready to storm the palace. You, sir, look like you could use a sandwich here.
I mean, maybe you're a protester and you're not so sure about this United States thing, and you're like, I don't know, the CIA, I don't know. Suddenly they hand you a sandwich. It's like, well, now I'm kind of liking the United States. I don't know. These CIAs, because I got a sandwich.
That tuna on rye surely turned me towards the United States. The loving embrace of...
Who's going to fight that?
No way, dude.
Sandwich diplomacy.
That is sandwich diplomacy. It is peace through delicatessen.
Yes, Ms. Newland, you have sandwich diplomacy. Who knew? You're brilliant.
That's right.
This was the person, by the way, and the Russians actually did this. They did their psyops, and they actually did mention this.
Yeah.
At least they mentioned this, because I was like, are you going to mention that in the front line? And they got mad. We got mad at them because the Russians intercepted the phone call, and then they released it where she said, F the EU. This is a very famous, where Anne Merkel's like, was? What you say? F the who?
Right.
European Union? Yeah, so...
But
it was interesting. There was one thing that I had missed in all of this that they did show, which I thought was interesting. And I vaguely remember this, but it was pretty interesting. It was one of the... was it EU Summit? It was one of the summits. Mm-hmm. And McCain, Lindsey Graham, all these people are sitting there at table at some summit, right? Mm-hmm. McCain, like Mr. Defense Industry, neocon. Lindsey Graham, his little...
He's a hawk. Little
boy hawk. Sorry. And and the ambassadors and these people, and she is there, and they're all there, and Putin gets up and just scolds the hell out of them. It's like, you're meddling in this and this and this and stuff, and you actually see McCain in them, and they're just like laughing, and they're looking at each other and going, and Putin's right there, like, and it was a weird moment. It was probably not very good strategically for Putin. It was like, dude, you don't do that.
Yeah.
And some of the people were like, it was really weird that he did that, because that's not, laying the gauntlet down. But it's all about, how we've tried to have the relations after the fall of communism.
Sure.
Yeltsin, Clinton, who had some type of relationship, and then, I mean, it's interesting how the dude rose to power. But, you got to deal with these people in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. The sandwiches. It's like, hey, have a sandwich.
I'm thinking that sandwich diplomacy
I hate
was
talking
hatched.
about this politics stuff, because people are so weird politically right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you grew up in the liberal Democrat world. I don't even know what that is anymore, because I don't see you out there.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Yeah, it's just everyone's so polarized. And we had. So anyway, that was not. I don't go watch it, see what you think.
Okay.
It made me a little.
Well,
I just didn't want to be treated like a 6-year-old.
Right.
Okay. Just sandwiches. We're just giving out sandwiches.
Well, then
that's all we're doing here in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
All we're doing.
Handing out
Just
sandwiches.
handing out sandwiches. Nothing else. Nothing else to see here. Just handing out sandwiches. Well, and I'm sure the Ukrainians were like, damn, I got a sandwich. Let's go. Let's join NATO now.
Right.
Free sandwiches. Like, if we just took all that big budget that we have, like for all the psyops and all the stuff we do out there,
just
and
invest
take
it in
a
Wonder
good
Bread.
portion of it, like a few billion,
Yeah.
into a catering service and free sandwiches.
Yes.
Dude.
It's not Air America. It's Air Delicatessen. It's, America Delicatessen. Uncle Sam's Deli.
You're over there in the Crimea. You're like, hell with this. I'm getting free sandwiches for the U.S.
Yeah.
Set me up, baby.
Right.
Ooh.
Wow, they even gave me a complimentary bag of Cheetos, too. I was on the fence till then. Now
Mrs. Fields cookie. It's always the Mrs. Fields cookie.
Yeah, Mrs. Fields or Otis Spunkmeyer, what is a Spunkmeyer?
Yeah.
Intriguing. Oh, macadamia nut. We're going to go with the U.S. now.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the sandwich was good. The cookie was good, but when you had the San Pellegrino with it, that's what really...
That's right. That's right.
USA! Go USA!
I hate those guys, man. They're always meddling in our elections. Yeah, but they do make a good Reuben.
My God, just food trucks, catering.
Peace through... that's
it would
that's
be
what we
easy,
need to do.
actually.
That's what we need to do. We need to, just... Instead of, doing all these covert and subvert actions, right? What we need to do is we just need to send food trucks. And we just show up over there, give them some sandwiches, and, hey, America's not so bad. We're benevolent. We brought you sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can do it.
It's I don't know. Anyway. So, okay, I got to stop talking about that. It took me a while, I turn it on during dinner, and it took me a while to get through this 2-parter, because it's like 2-hour-long shows, and the screaming and the I can't believe I just don't want to be treated like a 6-year-old. So anyway, but and then we had Donna Brazil.
Oh boy,
over the weekend.
Yeah.
So then there was that book, which. I was like, are you telling me anything I didn't already know?
Yeah. And then
of course, WikiLeaks and,
And then Sunday, she goes on a couple shows, right? And she denies that, no, I never said that the primaries are rigged. I never said, until someone, I forget what show it is, they actually had a copy of her book. They actually flipped it to the page where it says, the DNC thing was rigged. They're like, well, then, this is your book. How do you explain this then?
So
well,
Jason,
yeah.
You're a politic guy.
Yeah.
And I brought up this frontline thing.
Wednesdays I am.
You're right.
Anyway,
Right.
yeah.
Sorry, I should have
That's all right.
turned the camera on you.
That's okay. We'll reenact
oh,
it. Let's do that again.
Okay. Oh, well, now the camera's
Okay.
and scene. Oh,
You got to feed me a line.
Oh, line.
I'm waiting for the cue.
You're a politic guy, right?
Wednesdays, I am.
Okay, great.
Okay.
If we ever had an intern editor, we could actually use those bits.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying. I watched it. I'm glad because I had heard about the Frontline thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had watched the Frontline thing because then I got through it.
Yeah.
I slogged through it. Should have just been making sandwiches the whole time. And
Right.
I slogged through that.
Peace through salami. Yeah.
And then the Donna Brazil stuff.
Yeah.
So the message I'm getting here, because the front line is like Putin, Russians, hacking the election, hacking everything, hacking the DNC, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't mention that one. I took a screenshot of it, actually. I never really, I kind of did the overview of the whole. I don't have it here. I have it on the other computer. I took a screenshot of the Podesta email, the one that was the hacked email.
Yes.
So the narrative. I'm
is that
sorry,
the one where
I'm going to have to go because again, security experts, not a one.
Yeah.
So they showed a screenshot and they blurred some stuff out, like some email addresses. But this was on Frontline,
Yeah.
a screenshot of the email.
Okay.
And it was a forward of the email that said, hey, this is Google team. You need to go change your password. Click on this link to change your password. Folks, the first thing you do when you get an email like that, you delete it. No legit service sends
ever
out an
tell you,
email
yeah.
to say, your password has been hacked. Go ahead and click on this link and change your password. That's a phishing email. Okay? They may send out an email that says there's been a security alert. Go to your login
Yeah.
and take a look, but they will not include a link because anybody can include a link, take you to a fake page that looks like the legitimate page. You
Right.
do your password, and then they steal your password, and you're done.
Right.
Which is what happened with Podesta. That's what happened. So they get this email, and his assistant. Oh man, and he's just like, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Great.
I didn't do it.
Whatever.
I was too busy making sandwiches.
Assistant sends
Yeah.
the thing to the security IT folks at the DNC and says, I got this.
Yeah.
So this narrative is that the guy said, oh, this is a legitimate email. You need to go in and change your password right away. And so it's all that, whoever that mystery, because I don't think we've ever named that person. Whoever that mystery IT person is, they took
Yeah.
the fall. And then they said, oh, he meant to say illegitimate. Don't click on it. When you look at the actual email, it does say that, oh gosh, this is, yeah, it's a legitimate thing. You need to go change your password right now. Period. A link that says google.com/my account or whatever your link, where you go
Yeah.
to your account to log into your Google.
Yeah.
The IT guy included the legitimate link and said, you need to go change your password right now. Here's where you go do this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was in the reply. I've never heard that reported. It was right there in the email. And they never say a word about it.
So they let that guy take the fall for.
But no matter what the mistake that may have been made,
Yeah.
I mean, was a screenshot on Frontline, so I'm going to say this is a legitimate email.
Yeah.
The link to change your password on Google was included right there in the email. It's like, you need to go change your password.
Yeah.
And here's where you go to do that. That was the email that was sent. And so anybody who would see that would go, oh, yeah, he said go check. And actually,
Yeah.
and here's the other thing. That's not necessarily bad advice if you get a phishing email, and which means someone's attacking you. Maybe like, gosh, someone's going after you. You should go into your Google and maybe go change your password because
Right.
maybe there's been an accident or you might click on the link. So just go in and it's time to refresh your password. You should be changing your passwords often anyway.
Sure.
You should go in and do it. That's how the email read. I'm looking at the screenshot. I paused it and I'm like, wait a minute here. Guys, I don't know what you've been reading, but this is what's anyway. So I was really kind of like, had the guy not included the link, I mean, because I bought the whole thing too. Okay, the guy accidentally said, "There's the link right there to change the password." He sent them the link. Click on here. I'm your IT guy. It's like google.com. I don't quote me, but if you go into your Google, there's like a My Account section where you go in to change your password. Y'all with Google should know where it's at. You log into Google, log into your Gmail, and then go do it. And that's the only legit way you should be doing it. You shouldn't be clicking on any links.
Right.
I don't know. But somehow that was lost in all the stories I ever heard about this email that was hacked. So anyway, so the story is the Russians hacked our election and hacked the DNC. And that's certainly Frontline's thesis. Okay?
Yeah.
It's up to Putin. Oh, Putin did it directly, too. That's the other thing we keep like, okay, maybe he knew. I don't know. But it's almost like he's like right there. Oh, what's the code for this again? I'm Putin.
That's right.
I'm a master hacker. You know,
I am
it's like
Putin.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sure, maybe he knew. All right, maybe he knew. I mean, it's I could see it's possible.
Yeah.
I would assume he did.
Yeah,
I would assume. Yeah.
I would
said, I'm
think
not
it's something that
saying he's a
high
nice
level.
guy.
There's got to be some sort of.
He's not like buddy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably like, yeah. So that's the message we get from all of that, right? And the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Frontline and all this and everything's bad, right? And then Donna Brazile comes out with her book, and what is it? We rigged the primary. The DNC rigged it themselves. Debbie Wasserman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's this message here? So on the one hand, you got the Russians rigging the election, but on the other hand, you got the DNC rigging the. What does this mean? I know what it means. I'll let you, the viewer and listener, draw your own conclusions and think to yourself. Just when you're thinking on this, think, am I 6 years old? Is this a parent sitting me down and trying to explain something in very simplistic terms? Or am I a thinking adult and citizen of this country that maybe does some reading and some research and calls BS? I mean, unfortunately, we live in a time where people in authority need to be questioned. If we didn't learn anything from Vietnam, Watergate, you know, and this was another thing too. This was the thing about because this is on the heels of like Ken Burns' Vietnam documentary, which is very good, which is 10,000 ways to mess up in Southeast Asia by the United States of America, right?
Right. If they only would have sent sandwiches.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Ho Chi Minh would have been like. Love the sprouts. Really. Love sprouts. We don't get sprouts around here a lot. Love the sprouts. Go USA.
Funny thing is, Ho Chi Minh for a while was in New York, and we had him. He made overtures, and we just totally rebuffed him. Had we not rebuffed him,
Yeah. No, I know.
Same thing with Castro.
Yeah. Well, like you said, if had they just
sent him sandwiches,
Castro got that baseball contract.
Yep. Yeah, had he actually gotten hired by the Washington Senators back in the day,
So
we still would have seen a Batista regime well into the probably mid to late 60s, maybe even early 70s. Old Fulgencia wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But the whole Donna Brazile thing to me is just I don't I'd like to see him surprised, but I'm not.
Right.
But again, I mean, it's not like I dislike Donna Brazile. It just, to me, she's always been kind of just like I don't know. And I hate to besmirch her or anything. I don't want to do that, but I've never been that impressed though. Kind of a party hack. Okay, I said it. Party hack. And so I was kind of wondering, okay, when this book came out, is it more self-serving, sanctimonious, saying, look what I stepped into. I tried to, don't blame me for the election. But I
think that there was
it was rigged.
But I think
people knew it at the
trying
time.
to get out front of the narrative of some of the stuff. I mean, she was. I think it was pretty well. But she was accused of passing questions.
Oh yeah.
CNN.
She got the questions.
Really bad. It's really bad. I mean, I know that you're supposed to, like, historians were supposed to be like, well, how is this different from any other time? And with Watergate, and I mean, there's a lot of hinky, but it's still. It's always, I don't know.
I wonder how much. I mean, people say, well, it's rigged. And I was having this discussion with my wife because she's like, well, how can it couldn't have been that rigged if Hillary got over 4 million votes in the primary and Sanders. You can't rig that. I'm like, well, no, you can't rig that. But I said, we've become so.
I mean, do you think even without,
No, but we become so spoiled because we're in a coastal blue state.
Yeah.
And so we obviously think that everything is like us when it's not.
Yeah.
And
that's the problem.
My point is at the state level, if when we're talking about DNC shenanigans during the primaries, if you're a state apparatus guy and you're in a purple state or a red state, you control what the information goes on in your state. It isn't like the liberal wonderland of Oregon where everything's pro-Bernie and everything is cool.
Yeah.
And so when I told her, I said what the fix was was the people that are going door to door, the people that are doing the knocking, the people that are doing the phone calls in that state never told you about Bernie.
Yeah.
Bernie was just some guy you saw on your news every now and again, the cranky old dude who was like that. Yeah. But if you're fed a diet of Hillary, but you're that's what you come away with.
He had big rallies all over the place.
You cannot deny it. I mean, any guy that shows up in 20,000 seats.
Look, I guess what we expect, or what I expect, is the idea of democracy, which is coalition, or representative democracy, which is coalition government and stuff. And even in like big giant, we have two-party system, so we don't really have coalition government. We have two parties. But like even within the DNC or within that, you have different factions. You have like Bernie people who are like,
you get the progressives, you get the blue dog Democrats, you got
and you're all supposed to in the end kind of take each other's pieces. Well, I'll give you that. You horse trade. You go, okay, that thing about the college being too expensive, Bernie, really igniting the base of young people. Yeah. We need to probably pull that in and put that in what we're doing here. You know? And just none of that is happening anymore.
No.
And it's a bunch of BS. There you go.
I think it's a degree, it's a microcosm of what the overall thing, and the overall thing to me is Americans have always, we as a culture, right, we have always prided ourselves that we are compromisers in everything we do. We come together,
that's what
we
democracy
compromise.
Is.
Right. But I think somewhere along the line that has broken down. Compromise has failed us at this point, and I think it's become ingrained to the point where even the Debbie Wasserman Schultzes of the world.
Well, that's a whole train wreck.
Yeah,
look into her IT stuff and the IT people.
Yeah,
look into that. That's an interesting story that isn't being reported on very carefully by a lot of people.
No. And I'd like to tell you that this stuff has been rectified, that everything, we've learned from our mistakes and everything is great.
Yeah.
But and we'll talk about this on Wednesday, but I am bothered by the fact that after Perez took over the DNC, he basically booted out all the Bernie people.
Well, yeah.
And I understand it's your goal, it's your thing, and you're trying to set your house in order. But if you're trying to grow the tent and you're trying to show people that we are the ones that are working for the millennials, we're the ones working for the working man, we're this and that. You don't take people and say, I don't want to hear from you anymore. Go.
You know what, Jason?
Yeah.
I think you always overthink this crap.
Am I?
I really do, because I think it's just all about stirring unrest
Yeah.
And the powers that be, and I know that that's a ominous thing, but it's money.
No, it is.
Influence money in politics. And I'm always, everything that came out of one, follow the money, follow the money. And every action and every law today, there's money behind it. Mm-hmm. And you're very hard pressed to find something where it's like, well, this is a social, we all agree, or whatever. Yeah. Obamacare. But it's also a huge compromise with the insurance companies.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
not just like, hey, healthcare for everybody. It's like, oh, no. It's bringing the insurance companies, bringing the pharma and all that stuff. And I really think it's just, and this whole Facebook and all that stuff, it's better that we all sit down at our citizens level and fight it out on Facebook and yell at each other and divide and, oh, I hate that person. I unfriended them because they like that and I like this and stuff. It all plays into money.
Yeah.
The money flows smoother if we're just fighting about it. And I really think we're overthinking it. And I think folks need to stop. Like stop, reset.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that's happening right now.
I agree on a theoretical level, but
I'm very pessimistic.
I agree on a theoretical level, but I think though that there is such, and the problem is there's such a disconnect out there that if you're Tom Perez and you're any in the DNC and you look out at the landscape of what you need to do to rebuild the party, booting people out.
No, but it's been done. So there you go. You got your answer. So they're not going to help. They're not going to help.
No.
So there you go. So maybe folks who feel disenfranchised need to start thinking about third party. And then everyone, then half of your friends are like, well, that's so undemocratic and everything. No, it's actually really democratic.
Yeah.
It's actually how democracy works. And it's,
On Wednesday, though, I've got a solution.
Anyway.
I've got a solution, and it's coming Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's one of those very simplistic solutions that really it solves itself. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And that's your teaser, folks. If you want to
see, I mean,
if you want that, tune in on Wednesday, Turning Left.
And everyone's like 2018, 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. And you are the change.
That's right.
You're the people who should be changing
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Start independently thinking, questioning your sources. I'm more interested in what's going on in Saudi Arabia, which I have not read a darn thing about.
Somebody's consolidating power, and it is a purge.
Yes, and I'm interested.
It's not even a purge.
I haven't not had a chance to even read anything. I just know that this one dude who's kind of a power broker.
Yeah.
Was he Prince or something?
Yeah, he's one of the factions.
He's under house arrest or whatever or something.
But it's beyond a purge at this point. It's still continuing. It's now a full on pogrom.
What is it? Okay. So do you know? I mean,
yeah,
because here's the thing: we have Saudi,
they arrested like 30 princes and a bunch.
Yemen and a few. I do know. What was it, about a month ago or so? There was a statement from Saudi Arabia that said we are not gonna allow terror. It was like an anti-terrorism thing from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, we're no longer going to look the other way.
We're not looking the other way, and we're this terrorism thing's got us. I mean, it was like kind of like, it was came off like that. It's like we're not looking the other way. This terrorism thing is a problem here, and we're gonna nip it in the butt because there's been a lot of interesting stuff with that, right?
Yeah.
Like the nationality of certain terrorists and things. So that happened. So is that what's going on now? The fallout with that? Is that what or is it just a ruse for something else?
Well, it is.
I
think it's they're using that as context to consolidate power.
Yeah.
They're using that as it's a context. They're using it as a pretext to consolidate power.
I have to read up on that.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it tells you how far different their system is from ours, because there is a whole lot of people just either being arrested or just straight up disappearing.
Yeah,
And
It's always, that's always been the thing. Us out there passing out the sandwiches, telling people, oh, this country should clean up their act and stuff. But we have allies.
yeah,
Saudi Arabia is an ally of the United States.
it's supposed to be.
Women can now drive, I guess.
Yeah,
Now.
yeah.
2017. Well, I mean, maybe that's part of the thing. Maybe it's reforming. Maybe that's good. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying.
I just get the
You
feeling
know?
this is just a huge power jockey.
I don't
You
know.
know? That
Well,
they're-
there has been, and again, I haven't read up one bit on this.
Yeah.
Well, but I know that there's the women allowing women to drive now.
Yeah.
And there was a one guy.
The
'cause it's
robot?
younger folks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the robot. Well, that's kind of growth because one of the younger Prince guys or whatever, in power, had come out and said, "We want to make Saudi Arabia a tech hub in the world. We want to go to," which is interesting,
Yeah.
forward thinking though.
Sure.
So, and then we have this robot, what's her name, who's been out there scaring the crap out of people. This AI robot gal who was granted Saudi Arabian citizenship.
Yeah, they won't let women.
Wow.
They barely let women drive, but they'll give AI
A robot to it.
Yeah.
A robot chick. I mean, it's weird. Wow, what a weird.
Yeah.
What time loop are we in?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wait
It's
a
not
minute,
Westworld.
what year is this?
It's not Westworld. It's Middle East world.
Oh my word! So we'll have to read up more on that. I just have not been well read. I don't know. So like pretty
Yeah.
much bad news all over. The Timbers played in the playoffs,
Yeah, and they lost
and
2
that
to
didn't
1
quite work out.
to Houston.
Yeah.
Boy, is
So
it
they
not
didn't-
Houston's time to shine here?
Yeah.
Houston wins the World Series. Houston now advances.
Astro and
That's cool.
I don't know if when was that? That wasn't Monday? That wasn't a week ago. That was because I watched
It was last
that-
week.
Yeah, I watched that Game 7. I was like, I'll watch the World Series. I don't know. I'm not that big of it. And it was really not good. It was boring.
it's
Unless
just-
you were like a super Astros fan.
Yeah.
But it was like Dodgers. It was like, what's going on here, guys?
Oh, the whole series up to that point was
It was
just
really good. And then I watched the
very-
last one because I was like, ooh, it's going to be a big one. This is going to be a nail biter. And it was just
5-1.
It was horrible. I was like, why am I watching this? So, yeah, Houston won. And the Timbers lost, and there's other things. Gotta get caught up in the fall soccer.
Right, yeah, I have too. I keep getting alerts every once in a
Yeah.
while by Tottenham.
Yeah,
What's going on? Mm-hmm. But I've been kind of
and the Blazers too.
Yeah.
Are sending out. They beat L.A. right?
they beat LA.
That was the one.
They beat LA.
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball, yeah,
Nothing
nothing.
in that Lakers game,
Nope.
but that's okay. And was it Lillard who made some comments about him? But he was basically like, well, class act. Like Lillard after I remember he made comments about Ball, and he said, rookie season in the NBA, you're getting your legs, you're getting your figured
Yeah.
out. He's a great player.
I like
And it was
Damian.
like, at class act. And he's also, well, I haven't looked recently, but supposedly he's a vegan.
Damian?
Yeah.
Is he?
Oh, yeah, you didn't know?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he went over the
Wow.
summer on his Instagram and stuff.
So-
he's like vegan.
So we can't give him. Well, if we give him sandwiches, it's going to have to be like.
You can make a vegan sandwich.
Yeah, I'm just saying we'd have to offer
sandwiches are
democracy through vegan.
At some point,
Yeah.
you, Jason, will get some sort of vegan sandwich, and you'll think
Okay.
we may not.
Okay.
And you know what? We may not even tell you it's
Really?
vegan.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
There's some places you could go, 100% vegan,
Yeah.
barbecue and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you just be like
I am
Go
a
to town.
sucker for a good barbecue, man. I
fried
am.
pickles,
Oh, huge fan of that.
fried okra.
Yeah.
Oh, cheesy grits.
No.
Yeah, and they were some of the best. I was like,
Cheesy. Oh.
I wanted to get a gallon tub to take home. But I'm like, fat boy, no, come on, calm down.
Right, grits. Yeah.
All 100% plant
I
based.
do love some
all
grits.
100%
Yeah.
vegan. Oh, these cheesy grits were like, holy crap.
It's one thing about the South I did like.
Yeah.
Grits.
Yeah, no, I want to go back just because I hadn't had their cheesy grits.
Cheesy grits, that sounds good.
I'm talking about this place. I'm just going to shout it out.
Okay.
They're all the way out in St. John's,
Okay.
downtown St. John's,
Okay.
like right there on Lombard, like right in the middle, like across the street from the St. John's Theater.
Okay.
Downtown, beautiful little St. John's is awesome
Yeah.
these days. It's a place called Homegrown Smoker,
Homegrown smoke.
100% plant-based, barbecue, all vegan, all 100%. They were a successful food cart. They had another location. Their food cart burned down, and then they finally opened this location. But they've been at it for like almost 10 years, and they do all their own. Yes, it's like plant-based, like meats and stuff like that. Totally vegan. There's totally nothing, the cheese and everything. But oh man, the grits were really. I was like, let me taste your grits. Oh, it was
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Cheesy grits too,
Yeah,
because I don't
cheesy
really
grits,
eat cheesy grits anymore because but a good cheese anyway.
Can't pass up a good cheesy grits.
I highly recommend it. They have really good fried pickles there.
Oh, I love fried pickles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like, and they come with a sauce, and they're so good I don't even use the sauce. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. The pickles are really like dilly and kind of I don't know. And I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a great.
All right.
Yeah,
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the there's this thing we gotta go. We really gotta go. But there's this thing like when I made a dish that is not necessarily vegan, but I made it all vegan.
Okay.
And I brought it to this thing. It's like I'll make this. And I made it and I brought it and everyone ate it and they were like, oh, this is very good. What is it? Oh, what's your recipe? So I didn't tell them it was vegetarian vegan.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then I felt bad about it.
What was it? What's going on?
It was paella.
Ooh.
And then finally it was kind of like, well, it was basically like
I'm a big fan of paella. Yeah.
yeah, it was basically kind of the what are the coffee commercials where you're drinking the coffee and then the guy Marcus Welby would show up and go, "You're drinking it. It's decaffeinated." It's decaffeinated as you spit.
Right.
How could decaffeinated taste this good? It was like one of those moments.
Okay.
And then I felt bad. And we were kind of like, well, it's kind of vegetarian. It's like, the people are like, what?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, it's not,
What?
there's no meat in there or anything. And this one lady goes, after her second helping, she's like, you're kidding. Because I would have never known. This is fantastic, whatever. So,
I'm still stuck on cheesy
know.
grits. That's great.
they were so good. I just wanted to go back there.
Cheesy grits.
And like literally, I wanted to get a tub for breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're. Yeah, it was just.
All
And I've
I've
said
had.
it before in the
Yeah.
veg thing. You can actually have non-dairy cheese now. You can find really good product that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it's like nut-based. Like if you had like nut allergies or something, you might have to be
Like a nut oil base. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
cashews and stuff. But really good. No cholesterol.
Right. I've often said one of the last things I'll say today is that I don't. People say, "Oh, I'd never be vegan." To me, it's all about taste, right?
Yeah.
And I could care less if it oinks, if it moos, or if it clucks. I don't care. To me, if it tasted good, I'm fine. If someone made a vegetable based like meat kind of patty that tasted like hamburger, that chewed kind of like hamburger, I could care less.
Well,
there is one actually. I found one.
There are.
Yeah.
And there's a new one actually out on the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I'm good to go.
Yeah. In fact, there was news about this. There are some, and I actually can recommend a place over on Hawthorne that you may really, really like.
Excellent.
And they do have good like hamburger and stuff. All again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but there's like there's
if it tastes and chews like meat, I don't care.
There's There's a lot of those now. I mean, I that's not always what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really going for that.
Well, I think though,
But-
if you're like the new guy and you're just not
There's-
you're just doing vegan, you grasp for things that you kind of used to.
And there's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah.
It's a business opportunity.
Sure.
Again, follow the money. There are people who are like, well, maybe we want to like make product, but there are actually products just like that. And in fact, the last one that came out, kind of the vegans are like, oh, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know. That just kind of like gets into a weird area. And they said, maybe it's not for it's for people who are not vegan, but maybe they want to try
Transitioning.
yeah,
sort of.
try some stuff. So
Gotcha.
there is stuff out there. I mean, it's a lot different. That's the one thing. It's a lot different today than it was back, like people who were like doing that years and years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Which it was like, well, I've got some lettuce here and nothing else. I don't
Chew
know.
on that carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
All right.
All right. So, sorry about the wonkiness. It was a weird show. I mean, thanks to the internet.
The interwebs.
Monday. I was looking forward to this Monday.
Well, we'll be back at it Friday.
Yeah.
We'll close it out in style.
Let's hope so. All right. So a lot's going to go on this week.
Yep.
I predict.
Wednesday, we got Turning Left.
Yeah.
You can catch that at noon. Then I got a brand new show starting tomorrow night
Oh, that's right.
over at the House of Sound. Nothing but local artists,
That's right.
bands and artists. I've had a lot of people send me, their music and MP3s. I'm building up a library. Our first show, I promised these people that if I ever did do a local show, they would be the first guests ever. So Tuesday's project
Cool.
is going to be in. We're going to hang out and talk for a while and play some tunes and
Cool.
fun had by all.
That's
And hopefully
what time is that?
Well, it's tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
8 p.m.
And I'm hoping, my plan is I want to shoot a little video of just the interview part, because they have some professionally made videos that I'm going to splice into it. But the interview part, I kind of just wanted to get something on film. That way I could splice that in between the videos and kind of make this montage that I can turn turn into the open signal people and
No, cool.
see what's going on from
Yeah.
there.
So
Okay.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
houseofsound.org.
.org. Yeah.
Cool. I like the local music stuff.
Yeah,
That's
that's
kind of what we like to do.
I've always said the greatest thing about doing that show, the old show we did, was the local music, just playing all local music. And I tell you, people have been sending a lot of stuff lately since I put the call out, and I'm always overwhelmed by the amount of talent in
Especially
the Northwest.
now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And so people tomorrow night's gonna have a good treat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. Let's hope everything else goes well.
Right.
Hopefully your internet will be okay tomorrow.
Not knock.
Yeah.
knock
Well,
on
but they
wood.
don't. It's like on the radio thing, so that's unaffected. I mean, that was unaffected for us today.
Right.
So you're not doing like necessarily the Facebook or the Twitter necessarily,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was interesting. Well, that
was interesting.
that was interesting. I don't know.
Now,
You know.
now I'm gonna go home and make me a sandwich.
Yeah, I'm really hungry. I'll give you the name of this one place.
Okay.
To go.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. No.
Cheesy grits, dude. Also, the place on Hawthorne too.
Yeah, the
I'll
place
check it
on
out.
Hawthorne. Place on Hawthorne for sure.
Okay.
All right. Let's stay safe out there, and we'll see you later. Good luck, everybody.
I'm gonna make myself a cup of Good Morning America. Y'all want some? It's the best damn coffee you're gonna get anywhere, buddy.